Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Coca-Cola Superspeedway on Thanksgiving Eve 2021, as we are here to set the starting lineup for tomorrow morning's Thanksgiving 500, the 7th annual edition of this event here on the channel. The channel's not Napa fan anymore, I'm not Napa fan anymore. I'm a 22-year-old adult, and I just find the name corny now. I'm sorry, guys. But hey, still great to be back doing something for you guys here, and even though I won't be doing as much as I used to, I do want to be back and doing something on my own terms, and just have fun and roll with it. And what better race to start back in on than the Thanksgiving 500? I've said many times before that this race is my favorite special event to do every year. And I'm looking forward to this year. We've got a great field for this year's event, and a huge thank you to all you guys as well. So many of you guys just right back in there signing up. It's like I never left, and I greatly appreciate you guys just sticking around and dealing with me and dealing with my bipolar behavior. But either way, how this is all going to go here for qualifying, we got 4 groups. The weather is going to be the same for all 4 groups, and the fastest time wins the pole. So instead of all 42 cars going out at once, they go out in separate groups, hopefully to avoid them drafting off of one another. We might still see that, but yeah, the times will be up on the right of your screen. Once we get this first round done, you'll be able to compare the times as we go along throughout the session. So yeah, pretty simple. The fastest time wins the pole, and that's how they will line up for the Thanksgiving 500. In this group, we have 11 drivers. They are the number 4 of Dillon Young, the number 6 of Ethan Farley, the number 8 of Ben Young, the number 10 of Logan Williams, the number 20 of William Brock, the number 21 of Stuart Gratton, the number 28 of Chris Reynolds, the number 43 of Shane Lake, the number 44 of Chase Harris, the number 60 of Alexander Rowe, and the number 77 of Christian Master. And we'll talk through all the drivers throughout the session. This is the number 60 of Alexander Rowe, and Rowe has been a veteran on the channel for a very long time, but this is only his second Thanksgiving 500 that he will be participating in, so definitely great to have him in this event. Of course, multi-time winner in the Cup Series. When we did the Cup Series, I do not anticipate the Cup Series coming back. I'm going to say that right now. I think the Cup Series is done. It's just way too much work involved with that one. But great to see Alexander Rowe running in this year's event. Here's Logan Williams. This is going to be Williams' second Thanksgiving 500. And it's been so long since I've done any races, I don't really remember any statistics on any of these guys. I do know he ran very well in the last season of the Cup Series, the 17-race pseudo-season 10 that we did. Number 28 is Chris Reynolds. This is going to be his second Thanksgiving 500 as well, and Chris Reynolds made his first ever start on the channel in this very event last year, driving the number 28 machine. Number 77 is Christian Master, one of the drivers in this race who ran in the first ever race on this channel all the way back in 2015, and he's still running with us. Great to see him back on the channel, and we'll have to see what he can do in his second Thanksgiving 500. Everyone's in their second race. Number 4, Dillon Young, and I believe this is another driver who's in his second Thanksgiving 500. So Dillon Young hasn't been around, he's been around a while, but he hasn't been around as much as some of the other guys in this year's event, but definitely still a very experienced driver nonetheless, and like I said, this is the second time in this event, so definitely anticipate something going strong for him. Now we got someone who's been in this more than 2 times, William Brock, and he's driving the number 20. This is going to be his 6th Thanksgiving 500. He has run in all but one of these events officially since they began in 2015. We did, like I said, I've mentioned in the past, didn't mention yet, now, we did do one of these in 2014. I deleted it, and it's all gone, but it's not really canon anymore. But no driver has raced in more, or will have raced in more Thanksgiving 500s than this guy right here in William Brock, once tomorrow's green flag flies. So great to see William in his 6th Thanksgiving 500, but he's yet to win it, as we have an issue there with Dillon Young. Thankfully, he has already clocked in a time. We'll just have to see how that affects the whole outcome of qualifying, though, because he might not be able to get back out there. Oh, boy. And we come back, and that happens. Number 44 is Chase Harris, who was also in this race last year, and he will get back out there and get another car. Of course, Chase Harris, one of the strongest drivers to run in IndyCar, won the championship in 2020. Last season we did of IndyCar. Now, that is something that I do want to return next year, is the Haas IndyCar Series. Here's the number 6 machine. That is Ethan Farley, who made his debut on the channel last year in the Thanksgiving 500. This is going to be his second running in this race. And then the number 8 machine is driven by Ben Young, and this is going to be his first Thanksgiving 500. Of course, Ben Young did get a race victory earlier in the year in the NOFSRL Cup Series, so we'll have to see what he can do in this year's Thanksgiving 500. Number 43, this is Shane Lake, the 2020 Cup Series champion, and an official champion at that as well. Keegan Thompson's the unofficial Season 10 champion, so that's the way we like to see it. So far, Shane Lake does hold the fastest time here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying. And Shane Lake is going to be running his third Thanksgiving 500 tomorrow morning. And then you have the number 21 of Stuart Gratton, another driver who raced in the first ever race on this channel all the way back in 2015. Great to have him still around here. Be driving the number 21 in his 5th Thanksgiving 500. So he, along with William Brock, have been in quite a few of these renditions of this event. I believe that is everyone in this session. Each group has a 10-minute session, so we'll be here for a little bit here tonight. But I want to reacclimate myself with these drivers and reacclimate myself to announcing as well. I haven't done that in a long time. We'll just have to see how it all goes down, though, as the session goes along. But the number 43 is Shane Lake, currently holding on to the fastest time here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying. Of course, Chase Harris did get another car, and he's going to be back out there in the number 44 machine, looking to get a faster lap time. And the number 8 of Ben Young got a draft off the number 6, and that's essentially crucial to get a good lap time here around this 3-mile super speedway. If you have someone right ahead of you, pull right up to him on a lap, and you get a really good lap time. 49.61 for Ben Young in the number 8 machine. Of course, this ride has traditionally been driven by Nicholas Samadillo, the 2017 winner of this event. Samadillo not running in this year's Thanksgiving 500, but the number 8 has generally proven to be a pretty good car to drive in this event. So never forget that 2017 edition of this race when Samadillo literally blew up at the line as we finished out. Call him Mr. Edge for a reason, but like I said, not running in this year's Thanksgiving 500, so that's going to open the door for another driver to get a race victory. We do only have 2 drivers this year who have won this race in the past running in this year's Thanksgiving 500. That would be Luke Rainey and Zack Winkle, the 2018 and 2019 winners of this race, respectively. So running at night, but the race will be during the daytime tomorrow. So the times will... Actually, the times are kind of slow right now. I think the times in that 42-car draft are going to be pretty quick around this 3-mile super speedway for tomorrow's Thanksgiving 500. Don't believe we're going to see a slow-paced race. We could possibly see a caution-free race. I don't think we've ever had a caution-free race for the Thanksgiving 500. I would love to see a caution-free race for the Thanksgiving 500. It'd be really cool to see it all play out like that. And we're also anticipating 2 pit stops, I should say, about a 20-lap fuel run in tomorrow's event. And the number 60 of Alexander Rowe going to the top of the board with a 49.486. It will be interesting to see once we get into these other rounds to see how that time holds up, but that was a very good lap time right there, pulling up to the 10 of Logan Williams and the 44 of Chase Harris. And just like I mentioned, you get that draft, you're a little ways behind, you pull right up to him on that lap, and you go flying on the lap time. So it goes Alexander Rowe, Ben Young, Shane Lake, Logan Williams, Ethan Farley, Chase Harris, Stuart Gratton, Dillon Young, Christian Master, Chris Reynolds, and then the 20 of William Brock, the 11 drivers in this session. That's the way they line up at the moment. And I remembered all those names without looking at anything, so somehow I can still do it. Might want to watch out for Chase Harris and Logan Williams here. These drivers still right behind Alexander Rowe. They might be able to get a bit of a slipstream here. Of course, Logan Williams 4th quickest right now, and Chase Harris is 5th quickest, but they are going high in anticipation, I do believe, for Rowe coming down the pit lane, and Harris actually tapped the outside wall. Now, that is something we will not see. This track, the Coca-Cola night version of the track, does actually race differently than the day version of this track. I do not anticipate drivers scraping that outside wall on their own like you might see a little bit in qualifying here tonight. So right now, Alexander Rowe the fastest. I do believe that is how the times will stand after this first group. We'll get the second group out here in just a moment, but we will show you the results of this group once everything is official here in this session. Number 28 machine of Chris Reynolds right there, currently 10th. But it really doesn't matter too much where you start in this race. This is all kind of just a formality to get used to everybody again, because it's been a couple of months since I've recorded anything on this darn computer. We're all done there. Group number 1. That is how they line up, so those times will go up on the right of your screen. Alexander Rowe, currently the fastest with Ben Jung, Logan Williams, Shane Lake, Chase Harris, Ethan Farley, Stuart Gratton, Dillon Young, Christian Master, Chris Reynolds, and William Brock. The 11 drivers with time so far. Let's go ahead and get group number 2 out on the racetrack here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. And we are now ready for group number 2 here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. 10 drivers in this group. As you see the times from the first group on the right of your screen right there. Alexander Rowe posting the fastest time with a 49.486. We'll have to see how any of these drivers fare in attempting to dethrone Rowe from that top position. As like I mentioned, with it being a special event, no points attached to any of it. All this qualifying is essentially a formality. But like I said, it's been a while, so I want to knock off the cobwebs and figure this stuff out before we get to the main event. That's kind of the big thing. In this group, we got the 0-1 of Davey Johnson, the 0-2 of Patrick Smith, the 7 of Christopher Alfveby, the 12 of Trey Wright, the 14 of Andrew Williams, the 18 of Ace Garcia, the 26 of Ryan Kendall, the number 40 of Andrew Miller, number 42 of Fisher G, and the 88 of Ryan Madden. And of course, if you look down in the description, you will find each group and where each driver is placed in respect to each group. And already I'm anticipating Ace Garcia to go pretty fast on his first lap here, as he has a draft behind Andrew Miller. Ace Garcia, pretty much a staple to this race now. This is 4th Thanksgiving 500 that he will be part of. Of course, Ace Garcia won one of the last Cup races earlier in the year at Chicagoland. Definitely a solid driver in the whole AG universe, the whole Napa fan universe, if you want to call it like that. I do want to try to phase that name out. I don't like it anymore. Sometimes you just grow out of things, and you don't like things like you did when you were 15, 16 years old. You know, it just happens sometimes. You grow up, and your interests and your ideals change. That's happened a lot this year for me. But either way, excited to see if Ace Garcia can finally get a Thanksgiving 500 win. Now, with all that said in mind, that the whole wins list, that still applies. I just don't remember how many wins any of these guys have, because it's been a while since I've looked at that. But I have updated it since the last race that I did. So you can go ahead and if you go to my channel, click that little link in the channel art icon there. It will take you right there to the official updated wins list, and I will continue adding on to that. That's all still canon, so don't worry. Andrew Miller, my good friend Andrew Miller here, in the number 40 machine, right ahead of Ace Garcia. Great to have him back in this race. This is only going to be his second Thanksgiving 500, but of course, he's been around for a while as well. He's got a few wins. Won the All-Star race in the Cup Series earlier this year, so obviously we know he's good, and I'm sure Andrew would love to get this race victory driving the number 40 machine. When we did a series with this car set all the way back in 2017, early 2017 at that, This car won the championship with Emmanuel Hartnett driving the machine, and it was, in fact, the only Dodge, and is the only Dodge in the field. So, little fun fact right there about the car Andrew Miller is driving. Another fun fact, he is fastest in this group, but that doesn't really mean too much because he's only fast enough for 7th right now, and that's not too good this early on. Because as this session goes along, these times might get faster. And of course, the weather and the conditions are the same for each group, so they all are essentially even. Now, I'm not sure if some minute things change with that, but everything is identical for each group, so that one group doesn't have a better or a cooler track or something like that. When the track is cooler, these guys tend to go much faster, and it's especially noticeable on this track, Coca-Cola Superspeedway, so definitely want to make sure we have an even playing field for everybody in these 4 groups for this qualifying session. Here's the 01 of Davey Johnson. Davey, I believe, was in the first Thanksgiving 500. So was William Brock. Both Davey Johnson, William Brock, Stuart Gratton, another one. All were in the first Thanksgiving 500, official one in 2015. Great to have Davey back on board. Of course, he's been vibing with us for a long time. And we have a new founder. Actually, we don't. I thought the number 7 there of Christopher Alfveby went to the top of the board, but it is not fast enough to beat Alexander Rowe's time of a 49.486. But that was a good time by Alfveby there. We'll get to Alfveby in a moment, but Davey Johnson was a long-time owner in the Cup Series. Didn't do as much driving the past few years, but great to see him behind the wheel again. Of course, he was in the Indianapolis 250 this year. Would have been in the IndyCar Series if we actually did the IndyCar Series, but you know how that went. Like I said, I'm hoping to do the IndyCar Series this coming year in 2022. Very much excited for the IndyCar Series this year in real life, and I'm looking to go to the Indianapolis 500 next year as well. Got to talk to my good buddy Micah on that one. See if we get something figured out. Anyways, we'll go through the field here. Number 88, Ryan Madden. This is a name I haven't heard in a long time, and that's the cool thing. You know, I stepped away for about a couple of months. I come back, and we get guys like Ryan Madden, Ryan Kendall to come back. Awesome to see these names. We haven't really seen them in a couple of years on the channel, but they're back in action in one of the biggest races on the channel. This is only going to be Madden's second Thanksgiving 500, but Ryan Madden has been around for a long time, was winning races all the way back in 2016 here on the channel, and 5 years later, he's still around here. So, great to see Ryan Madden in the number 88 machine, and let's have to see what he can do in this event. He's currently 4th quickest in this group. That would be good enough for, I do believe, 12th, if I'm doing the math correctly. No, 11th. Not 12th. It's 12th. No, I'm wrong. It is 11th. It's difficult. When it's single car qualifying, it's easy to just pop them right in, what I have. But when you got all these other cars who are not on that list that you see on your right yet, get kind of confusing. But these guys might just go right to the top. They're getting a bit of a draft here from the 01 of Davey Johnson. And we'll have to see if these guys pop their way to the front. That's Christopher Alfveby in the number 7 machine, who is currently fastest in this session. Of course, Christopher Alfveby has won a couple times in the channel. I know his first win came in the IndyCar Series back in 2019 at Auto Club. And we got a new fastest driver in town. This is number 12 of Trey Wright, who called this race with me last year. Won't be calling it with me this year because he's in the race. I don't know if we'll have a co-commentator. I'm hoping they get somebody for it. Maybe Josh Williamson, a good buddy there. We'll have to figure all that out. But this is Trey Wright's second Thanksgiving 500. But his other driver, Al Legacy's been in this race before as well. And he's been in the booth with us before, so he's been around forever. We all know Trey. But Trey right there now, fastest here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying. I'd watch out for him as this event goes along. Number 14, that's Andrew Williams, the younger brother of Logan Williams. This is Andrew's first Thanksgiving 500. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought he was in this race last year, but it's going to be his first Thanksgiving 500. But great to have Andrew Williams here in the number 14 machine. We'll have to see which of the two brothers gets a better run in this year's Thanksgiving 500. 02, that is Patrick Smith. This is Patrick Smith. Surprised, I was a little bit surprised by this one. This is his first Thanksgiving 500. Patrick Smith, one of those long-time drivers in the Cup Series, had never been in this event before, but great to have him on board for this one. We're excited to see what he can do in that 02 machine. Currently 8th quickest in this group. Going to the inside of him right there is the 42 of Fisher G, and this is Fisher's 4th Thanksgiving 500. I know he had been in this one many times before, so a veteran of this race there in Fisher G. And I'm trying to think if he won a race this year in the Cup Series. I can't remember if he did. He did last year. But I actually really don't remember much of this year in terms of the NR stuff, just because I've been away from it for so long. So please forgive me for all that, but excited to see what these two longtime veterans can do. I mean, these guys, I remember when these guys like came on as rookies, and now they've been around for 4 or 5 years. It's how long I've been doing this, and it makes me feel old, but in a good way. Number 26, I believe this is the last driver we've yet to touch. That is Ryan Kendall, another guy we haven't seen in a long time. Great to see him back right there in the number 26 machine. I do believe, however, he's not a rookie to this race. He actually has been in this race before. It's going to be his second Thanksgiving 500. I noted how many Thanksgiving 500s each of these drivers have been in, but I didn't note which years they were in. I probably should have done that. But I only have so much time to devote to this. I worked a 10-hour day yesterday, and that was my 7th straight day of working. Hey, I love it. I absolutely love working. Makes me feel accomplished, and I get paid money to do it. But just don't have as much time anymore. But it's good. It's good to balance it all out. It's looking like we're going to have a new fastest driver here, and of course these times will update with the times on your right once this session is officially complete. The number 12 of Trey Wright, looking to win the Thanksgiving 500 pole. And with the help of the draft right here, and Christopher Alfveby and Davey Johnson, and the 88 of Ryan Madden, looking like Trey Wright might possibly lead the field of the green flag tomorrow in the 50-lap event here at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Should be a good race tomorrow, though. I'm looking forward to it. As always, a very fun race to do on Thanksgiving morning, and long-standing tradition on the channel now. Like I said, 7th edition of this event that we have done. The 7th annual Thanksgiving 500 officially. I also did this in 2014 as well, like I mentioned. Deleted that one. So, in a way, it goes back 8 years, 7, 8 years. So, it's great to still be doing it. I ran out of things to talk about. I'm not... Still not as good as I thought I was, but it's alright. I think the time's going to run out here very soon. Trey Wright with the fastest time here in 30 more seconds. Keeps on coming here. Don't think anyone's out there that's going to beat that time of 49.188. That's significantly faster than Alexander Rowe. Rowe's going to go to 5th now here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying, so... But Trey Wright will definitely get the fastest time here with the first half of Thanksgiving 500 qualifying complete. And now, the time should be done. And it is. So those are the official results right there. Trey Wright, Christopher Alfveby, Davey Johnson, Ryan Madden, Ace Garcia, Fisher G, Andrew Miller, Patrick Smith, Andrew Williams, Ryan Kendall. Gonna update there on the right for you. And we're going to go ahead and move on to group number 3 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. We are now halfway through qualifying for the 2021 Thanksgiving 500. And now we are on the group number 3 here. 10 more drivers going to go out to the racetrack to see if they can beat Trey Wright's time of 49.188. Definitely excited to see how it all goes down, as always. We do have a couple of first-timers, though, in this group. Both of the drivers making their first career start on the channel in this group here, and this is one of them here, but we'll go through everyone in the group first. Number 2 of Will Parrish. Number 11 of Brandon Nelson. The OG himself, number 22 of Jesse Turner, who I feel bad. I really do here, and I'll get to Turner in a minute. Number 24 is Zack Winkle, winner of this race in 2019. 31 of Stephen Colon, who was the unofficial Turkey Hill Series champion, I think. Number 75 of Mitchell Collins. Number 90 of Brennan Wilmington, who was the runner-up last year. Number 93 of Hunter Braxton, one of the first-timers. Number 97 of Bradlee Atkins, another first-timer. Then number 99 of Dan Parke. He's not a first-timer, even though this is his first attempt in the Thanksgiving 500. This gentleman right here is Bradlee Atkins. First career Napa fan. First career start on the channel. Like I said, we'll try to phase out the Napa fan stuff here. First career start on the channel for Bradlee Atkins here in the 2021 Thanksgiving 500. This is a great race to make your debut start. And we'll have to see what Bradlee Atkins can do. Will he follow in the footsteps of Jordan Lopez win his first career start in the Thanksgiving 500? We'll just have to find out and see. But Don't know anything about this guy, so we'll just have to see what he does in tomorrow's race. This is Dan Parke, number 99. Of course, he's been around for a long time. Raced in 2016, was off for a couple of years, but came back and was running this year in one of the series. I want to say, I think he was in the Turkey Hill National Series this past year. I don't know if he ever won a race, but he has been around for quite a while, and here he is in his first ever Thanksgiving 500, driving the number 99. Definitely intrigued to see what he can do in that ride. Here's Zack Winkle, 2019 winner of this event. First of the 2 past winners of this race in this year's Thanksgiving 500. And this is Winkle's 3rd running in this event. Of course, he won this race in his first year back in 2019. And we'll have to see what he can do in the Rainbow Warrior machine, the Jeff Gordon car, the one everyone goes for. Zack Winkle, a past winner, got it, so that might be a good omen for him right there. We'll just have to see what he can do in the number 24 machine. Here's the number 2, Will Parrish, who was in the Turkey Hill National Series this past year. One of the new drivers for 2021, but still at this point a lot under his belt, and definitely will have some experience on a couple of drivers in this race with all that Turkey Hill National Series experience that he gained in the 16 races we did this year. Number 90, Brennan Wilmington, runner-up in this race last year. Oh, so close to winning in his first career start on the channel, but just barely lost out to last year's winner, Mark Davidson. But Mark Davidson isn't in this race this year, so maybe that spot will open up for Brendan Wilmington and possibly getting this Thanksgiving 500 race victory as Zack Winkle goes to the top of the board in this group. That would put him 13th quickest. So it's still not too fast there. Number 31, this is Stephen Colon, who, as far as I know, and I haven't checked the points, would have been the champion, the unofficial champion of the Turkey Hill National Series, season number 6. So definitely a solid driver all around, very consistent. He could definitely be a threat tomorrow. Mitchell Collins in the number 75. Obviously, he's always a threat. He was also up there in the Turkey Hill National Series points throughout a majority of the season, from what I can remember at least. So, also watch out for Mitchell Collins. He's definitely a fast driver, as always. All these guys are fast. It's all equal ratings, as it always is. Who am I kidding? But Mitchell, definitely another one of those guys who's up there in points, very consistent in the Turkey Hill National Series. Okay, here we go. Jesse Turner. I gotta offer an apology to this man, because what happened here, and I feel bad. First ever winner on the channel all the way back in 2015. Won the Season 2 championship in the Cup Series. He was in contention for the Season 10 championship after Indianapolis. I think he was only off by 4 points behind Keegan Thompson. And I never finished the series. And I felt bad that there really wasn't an official finish for him to have a chance at Thompson. And the big reason why I say unofficial champions for Thompson and Cologne is because there should have been an official end, and there wasn't. And I really feel bad for this man in particular, Jesse Turner, who had a great opportunity at that championship, and I did not give it to him, and I did a big dishonor to him by doing that. I'm sorry. It is in the past, and I won't be coming back to the Cup Series. It was too much work for the time that I had, and I just unfortunately couldn't get to it. And I wanted to stop it and move on to something else. I'm very glad I think Jesse got the last car in signups, actually. But it's great to have him in this race. This is going to be Turner's 4th Thanksgiving 500. Absolutely would love him to get, I think it would be his 22nd career win if he gets the race victory tomorrow. And that would make him the all-time winningest driver on the channel outright, I think. But it's been so long since I've looked at any of that stuff, I just can't remember. And this is the other new timer, even though this is a development driver to Zach Rogers, I do believe, Hunter Braxton. So a true rookie, yes and no at the same time. But Hunter Braxton, the driver, has not raced in a race on this channel before. So this is going to be his first career start here on the channel in tomorrow's Thanksgiving 500. He's currently second fastest right now in the session. Would put him 14th quickest overall between the entire field. Number 11, Brandon Nelson, was in this event last year. It's going to be a second Thanksgiving 500. I want to say that this was the car that Brennan Wilmington drove last year. I cannot remember for the life of me. I had all 1,000 races in my head, and then I walk away from it for 2 months and I forget everything. But what do you expect? Nelson currently the slowest in this session, but not slowest overall, as he is currently... I'm not even going to bother doing the math with that one. That's too much work. I don't get paid enough to do that. It's below my pay grade. I think we mentioned everyone in this session here. Zack Winkle is still the fastest in this session, but nowhere near the time set by Trey Wright. They're not in that big draft like they were in that prior session, and because of that, not getting near as fast times as we were earlier on, so these guys kind of going to be lagging back a little bit in the starting order for tomorrow's race if things do not change in these next 2 minutes. So in terms of experience, this might be one of the least experienced groups. Not that that means anything. You do have Jesse Turner in here, but a lot of the other guys don't really have that much experience past 2019, 2018. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think Turner might be the only driver in this field. Turner and Dan Parke are probably the only 2 drivers in this field that have made a start in 2017 or prior. So that's gone back a ways still, but all these other groups have at least multiple guys who raced in the first year of competition. You know what, that last group I don't think did. Davey Johnson... Yeah, last group didn't, but there's still guys who raced 2017 prior in that group, so I'm making up statistics as I go along to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about, but obviously you guys know I don't know what I'm talking about. We might get something out of this. We'll have to see here. Zack Winkle, yeah, we did. And Jesse Turner, with that draft off the 93, is going to go up into the 5th position overall here, so that's a pretty solid time, and they finally figured it out right there. So Jesse Turner got a draft of a Hunter Braxton, and that is going to put him to the top of the board for Group 3 and 5th overall. That's faster than Alexander Rowe, who was the fastest driver in the first group. So looking pretty good there for Jesse Turner in the number 22 machine here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying. Zack Winkle behind these guys as well. He might get a bit of a pull off the corner here, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to defeat Turner's time. As a matter of fact, Winkle's time did not improve that last lap. I would imagine it's going to improve there, and it will actually defeat Turner's time. He goes to a 44.6, and that will put him 5th overall. Turner will go to 6th overall. But Zack Winkle and Jesse Turner, of course, Winkle a past winner of this event, and Jesse Turner, he's Jesse Turner, so definitely a lot of experience out of those 2 guys. A couple of guys to definitely watch out for in tomorrow's event to possibly get the race victory. Of course, it's pretty obvious if you go by yourself out here, you're probably going to be below, or should I say above 50 seconds, and if you're above 50 seconds, you're not getting too high up in the running order to start. But we do only have 4 guys under 50 seconds in this session, so that's the fewest we have had so far in any of the groups we have done here tonight in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying. Zack Winkle is definitely going to be a threat to win tomorrow, I would imagine, especially with this good starting position that he will get. I would say he's probably going to start top 10 tomorrow, so that's definitely a good thing. But you do want to start in the inside lane, at least initially, because that inside lane is where you want to be to start off with this race. And if you're not on that inside lane, you do tend to fall back, and especially if the race is very clean and you know, after that first green flag cycle, if just before that first green flag cycle you started, or you're in the back of the field, that's it, essentially. You know, your chance of winning the race is done. If it stays green, we get a green flag cycle to pit stops, and you lose that draft to the main pack, and that has happened before in the past. We'll just have to see how it all goes down in that regard tomorrow. Zack Winkle, fastest here. And I think I actually spelled his name right this time. I think for the longest time I spelled it with an H instead of a K, but it's actually spelled with a K. At least I think it is. But Zack Winkle, fastest in this session. You see him updating there on the right. Trey Wright still the fastest. One more group to go here in Thanksgiving 500 qualifying from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. And it is now time for the final group of qualifying here in the Thanksgiving 500 2021 qualifying session. 11 drivers in this group. And as you look at the times there on the right of your screen, they're all looking to beat Trey Wright's time of a 49.188. Might be a bit of a difficult one to break. These drivers might be able to do it here. They got an extra guy, might be able to get a pretty big draft going if at all possible. Like I mentioned, 11 drivers in this group. The 00 of Thomas Troxell, number 1 of Angel Olvera, the number 5 of Elijah Gordon, the number 9 of Trey Smith, the number 17 of Luke Rainey, the 2018 winner of this event, the number 25 of Christian Vargas, the number 32 of Ryan Durrani, the number 50 of Owen Miles, the number 66 of John Andrews, the number 71 of Cameron Gaju, and the number 94 of Joey Hightower. All these guys have a lot of experience. As a matter of fact, I think most of these guys have actually raced in a cup race before too, so lots going for these guys. We'll just have to see how it all goes down. Here's number 50 machine. This is Owen Miles. And Owen Miles, one of those drivers, was very good in 2020 in the Turkey Hill Series. I know he won a couple of races. I can't remember for the life of me if he moved up in the Cup or not. I don't think he did, but he might have. But I just don't remember, because it's just been that long. But this is Owen Miles' third Thanksgiving 500, so he has been around for a while, so I'll give him that much, and we'll just have to see what he does in the number 50 machine in tomorrow's event. Number 94, Joey Hightower. This is going to be his first Thanksgiving 500. Hightower's been around for a while. Made his debut in IndyCar, I do believe, a few years ago, and that might come to his advantage. This race is a lot like an IndyCar race on a superspeedway, the way these guys fan out, the way the draft works and all that. Sometimes it does fan out single file for these guys as well, so that could come into Hightower's favor, all that IndyCar experience. 00 here of Thomas Troxell. This is going to be his 5th Thanksgiving 500. Now, the Troxell, another one of those long-time running drivers in this race. It's Troxell, Luke Rainey, Stuart Gratton. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only 3. And then William Brock, who have been in 5 or more Thanksgiving 500s and are running this year's running of the event. You have guys like Elijah Gordon, Jesse Turner, who have been in 4. Same with Fisher G. And Ace Garcia. Everyone else is 3 or less. So, you know, it's all over the board in terms of experience for this race this year. So, I know, we might want to give that advantage to the guys who do have the experience. But keep in mind, this is just a video game and all the ratings are equal, so that really doesn't matter. We like to talk that up and try to make it seem real, but you know what? It's all what the computer wants to do. But Troxell definitely a long-time running driver here on the channel. Definitely great to have him in this year's Thanksgiving 500, and excited to see what he can do in that 00 machine. Number 9, this is Trey Smith, the 2020 Turkey Hill Series champion. This Trey Smith has been around for a little while as well. This is going to be his 2nd running in this race. So definitely excited to see what Trey Smith can do in that number 9 machine. Number 5, this is Elijah Gordon himself, and I think Elijah was another one of those guys who was in the debut running of this race back in 2015. So definitely, obviously, he's one of the all-time greats on this channel in terms of the races. 2-time Cup Series champion, multiple wins. Thanksgiving 500 would be a great addition to his resume here in 2021. Fastest time right now is a 7:11. That's good enough for 12th quickest for Trey Smith. The number 1 machine is 2nd quickest. That is Angel Olvera. Then this is the car that Jordan Lopez has driven since 2016. He drove that car for 5 straight years after winning in his debut start on the channel. Lopez not in this year's Thanksgiving 500. It's now Angel Olvera in the machine looking to get his first ever Thanksgiving 500 race victory. And right behind him, it is a driver who has won this race in the past, Luke Rainey, who won this race in 2018. Definitely a guy who could win it a second time. No doubt about it. This is his 5th Thanksgiving 500. He's won it before. He's been running in it for a long time. Watch out for Luke Rainey, as always, one of the best drivers on this channel. Ryan Durrani in the number 32. Great to see Ryan in this one for a 3rd time. Of course, Durrani was one of the drivers in the Cup Series this year. I don't think he ever got a Cup win. He was one of those guys who came close a few times but never could get it. But maybe a Thanksgiving 500 race victory tomorrow would make up for that. Number 66, John Andrews, one of the original runners of this race in 2015 as well. It's hard to believe how long this guy's been around, but it's great to have him back as always. John Andrews running in his... Even though he was in the first running of this race, this is only his third Thanksgiving 500, so he hasn't actually run in it that much, but he was in the field in 2015, so he's been around. We all know that he's been around. One of the longest running drivers on this channel. Great to have him. Christian Vargas in number 25. This is going to be Vargas' third Thanksgiving 500 as well, so he's done this a couple of times. You know, why you always got to watch out for those guys who are in their second or third start. Those are guys I think who tend to do really well. Of course, lots of times we see drivers win in their debut start. Look at Jordan Lopez. But Vargas there in the number 25 machine, he's been in all sorts of different races here on the channel, and I know he's won multiple times as well. Definitely got to watch out for him this field, and I think this might be the last guy. And I'm glad this is the last guy we're talking about. It has been a couple of years since I've seen this name, but another OG driver to the channel, and only his second Thanksgiving 500 though. This is Cameron Godju, not Garlington, not Cameron Garlington, but Cameron Godju. Those of you who've been around for a long time know this name. But it has been a couple of years since Godju has driven here on the channel, and it's great to have him back. Of course, if you know where the whole Raised Eyes and Tubing name comes from for the Indianapolis race in the Cup Series, which happened to be the last race, this gentleman right here was the one who gave me that name, and subsequently is associated with that fine company. And that's how all that started for the Indianapolis race. But great to have Cameron Godju on this event. Would be awesome to see him get a race victory. Let's have to see and find out. But he's definitely a guy who could pull this Thanksgiving 500 off. If this was Darlington, I think he'd pull it off. He won twice at Darlington in the Cup Series early on, too, way back in the day. So watch out for him. We got a group right here. Trey Smith with a 49.223. That is good enough for second overall, but not good enough for the pole. Hightower up there along with Troxell. Of course, Troxell would actually be fourth quickest the way they're currently running right now. So be some good starting times for these gentlemen right here. One interesting thing, there are no females in this year's running of the event. We've had them in the past. Hopefully next year we get some more of those great lady drivers like Audrey Baranowskis. Of course, then again, William Bruck's the guy who always runs this race, so that's why Audrey Baranowskis has never been in this one before. But arguably, Audrey Baranowskis is the greatest female driver on this channel ever. Indianapolis 250 champion. Definitely hope to see her in some future races that we do here on the channel, as she's one of the best, no doubt about it. Looking good there for Trey Smith. Looking for an outside pole alongside Trey Wright. The Trey and Trey show. Hey, too bad we don't have Trey Bartow in this one. I gotta get Bartow back in something here soon. But Trey Smith there in the number 9 machine. Looking to start on the front row, but I just don't think he's going to have enough to beat Trey Wright's time. And looks like Trey Wright will win this pole for the Thanksgiving 500 here in 2021. Of course, a huge thank you to everyone who signed up, and I think we probably have already done it at this point, but huge thanks to everyone who signed up for the Wawa Pro Series as well, the new series that I'll be doing. Like I said, there's not much of a timetable for that, but I'm looking forward to it. Going to be essentially F1 style with the point system and everything. Strict points, no playoffs. We obviously all hate the playoffs. I am glad Kyle Larson did win the NASCAR Championship, though, because he was the best driver this season. And, by golly, I really hope he's running the Indy 500 this year as well, because I care more about the Indy 500 than I do about the NASCAR Championship. And if Larson can go into Indianapolis and run well, that is huge. That is huge. I do watch David Land still. He's like the one guy I watch. So judge me as you will with that one, but I do like his reporting. He touches on more than just NASCAR, and I have pretty much lost touch with NASCAR at this point. Though I will say I am looking forward to the Clash. I know that's kind of an interesting one, but I like the fact that there is pretty much no association with the championship or the playoffs with that race. It is just a race, and it's just an event. It's like this. It's like the Thanksgiving 500. It's just one big event. And I think, it'll be good. I really do. It's it's gonna be nothing like we've seen in modern day NASCAR. I'm looking forward to that one, and that isn't gonna be too long from now. I mean, we're looking at 2.5 months from now, and trust me, once you get to my age, 2.5 months is nothing. That goes by quick. Really quick. Well, a lot to look forward to next year in the motorsports world, and hopefully here on this channel as well, even though we won't be doing as much. Definitely looking to be doing some things next year in the 2022 here on AG the channel. That's the name I have for it. I like that name, though. Hey, looks like Trey Wright's going to win the pole, and Trey Smith's going to be alongside him for tomorrow's 50-lap event here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. That will do it. And there are the full results right there on your right, with all these hopped in. Trey Wright alongside Trey Smith. And that is how they will line up for tomorrow's Thanksgiving 500. So here are the official results as they show on the screen. I'm not going to say them because I don't have them updated at the time of recording this, but I'm done recording for this evening, and just want to give myself a break. I'm doing this in little chunks here, so slowly chipping away at this. But yeah, congratulations to Trey Wright for winning the pole for the Thanksgiving 500 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on AG the channel. Should be a great one for the 7th annual running of this event. Looking forward to see who gets it done at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for just sticking with me and understanding how crazy I am and not being able to make a decision on any of this stuff. But I appreciate you guys still being there, and it's good to be back, at least in a little bit of a capacity here for this year's Thanksgiving 500. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.